Please be seated. It is a St. Andrew's tradition for two graduating seniors to offer reflections on behalf of their class. Jonas Blum will offer our first reflection. Jonas has distinguished himself academically and as a leader in many areas of school life, including student government, our student newspaper and yearbook, athletics, choral, and theater performances. For these accomplishments and for his positive effect on the life of St. Andrews over the past 4 years, at Thursday's Honors Assembly, Jonas received the William Way Award, considered the highest honor the faculty presents to a graduating senior, and he will attend Northwestern University next year. Jonas?
Good morning. Mr. Kazaski, honored guests, trustees, parents, faculty, staff, and fellow students, good morning. And to my class, congratulations. I'll jump straight into this speech with a story. If you've been to any of Mr. Kazaski's Honors Assembly speeches, you might notice some parallels here. I don't want to say I copied his style, but I'll leave it for you to decide. This is the story of a new student. A student who, in years past, no one would have ever called fearful. Maybe quirky, goofy, silly, weird, you get the gist. But on this particular day, he truly is terrified. It's the first day of his freshman year at a new school. He's been told to wear bright yellow for 9th grade day, and he knows no one. He spends the day doing a series of prearranged icebreaker challenges and activities. They're all things I'm sure my fellow students here remember. Stacking straws, rolling marbles, a baffling amount of ways to go through a hula hoop. He knows it'll be hard to make friends, and therefore, in almost a self-fulfilling prophecy, he avoids people just to evade the one challenge he can. Truly, he'd be happy with himself if he just survived the day. He looks so scared in the hallway that he remembers Mr. McMillan stopping him and just asking, "Are you doing okay?" But flashing forward a few weeks, the student is more in the groove of the day-to-day life at his school. He still wouldn't say he, has friends, but there's no doubt he's at least a little happier than he was on the first day. In mid-October, the tent competition rolls around. A confusing yet entertaining example of the impressive work students can do when they all choose to procrastinate together. Acting is for sure not in the cards for this kid, so instead, he joins what has since been known as the Ring, which is a circle of students who just got in a circle and avoided doing any work on the tents. It was all of us who wanted nothing to do with this hyper-social script writing or acting. So now the student has this ring, and paired with fellow varsity walking teammates, he'd probably tell you he has at least a few friends. Then winter rolls around, and with it came the winter musical. The student did technical theater in his middle school, so he showed up to the first day at tech only to immediately leave. He saw the crowd of students lined up to do it, and he just thought he wasn't good enough. He ends up not doing anything after school that winter, and he remembers leaving school every single day at 2:40. By spring of his 9th grade year, he's come to regret that decision. He feels like he missed out on a lot, and he's just been assigned to write a speech in his 9th grade English class. Shout out to my Davila kids. He ends up writing a speech on regret, and he uses the regret of missing the winter musical to push himself to join the tennis team that spring, a choice which he does not regret. Despite his initial fear of trying out, the team is his highlight for the year. He meets a group of friends that still hold a bond 3 years later. He remembers going home and realizing that there truly are people outside of his family who care about him. he doesn't feel alone anymore. The student whose story I just told, quite obviously, is me. I still remember that season, and I still remember coming home probably a week into practices and telling my mom, I think I have friends. Mr. Kazaski tends to end his stories with a moral, or something that he learned that could be applied to students' lives. In this case, it's the other way around. I'm the student who learned from all of you. I've learned to make friends and be comfortable around others. I'm the student who's just so happy he's in the class of 2022. Just to quickly contrast that freshman year with now, the tent competition went from the bane of my existence to that awesome moment where everyone storms the stage listening to Bounce Out. I've played tennis all 4 years of high school, and now I'm here graduating in front of the entire class at the cathedral. All this becomes possible because of who we are as a class, and all of that becomes possible because of St. Andrews. I love that everyone says hi or good morning at the start of the day. I love that our grade shows up to soccer games, basketball games, and even ice hockey games just to cheer on our classmates. I love that for the first performance of Les Mis this spring, nearly half of Mac Hall was seniors. I love that we actually got a water slide for our senior prank. And frankly, I love, and David, Matthias, you're gonna have to help me out here, I love that I can go 2-0. 2-0. If our class had to mean one thing, thank you. If our class had to mean one thing, if St. Andrews had to mean one thing, it's a community where everyone supports each other in all of our endeavors. I'm about to be, and we're all about to be, freshmen again next year. But unlike 4 short years ago, I'm not scared of meeting new people, trying new things, or making new friends. I'm not that scared 9th grader anymore, thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonas. I'm grateful someone was listening. Isabella Dodro will offer our second reflection. Isabella's empathy, determination, and resilience have defined her years at St. Andrews. She has been a strong student advocate, working with her peers, faculty, and administrators to promote each person's dignity, our collective sense of equity, and our school's commitment to belonging. In particular, she has been instrumental in creating a culture of student leaders and groups, including our student government and our Students of Color Association, collaborating to effect constructive change and mature responses to injustice. At Thursday's Honors Assembly, Isabella received the Faculty Award for Equity and Belonging, and she will attend the University of North Carolina, Greensboro next year. Isabella?
Where's the speech? The paperwork? Sorry about that. Mr. Kazaski, honored guests, trustees, parents, faculty, staff, fellow students, and the class of 2022, thank you and welcome to this year's graduation ceremony. I would like to open with a quote from one of my personal favorite movies, High School Musical 3. East High is a place where teachers encourage us to break the status quo and define ourselves as we choose, where a jock can cook a mean creme brulee and a brainiac can break it down on the dance floor. East High is having friends we'll keep for the rest of our lives, and that means we really are all in this together. Once a wildcat, always a wildcat. Now, even though Troy Bolton may only be a fictional character, there are a lot of things that we, the St. Andrews community, can relate to from his speech. Our teachers encourage us to break the status quo by joining new clubs, signing up for new and exciting electives, and by encouraging us to participate in class discussions. We meet new people every trimester in our classes, and we are all in this together. Once a lion, always a lion. Now, I know that for some of you, this may be surprising, but when I first arrived on the St. Andrews campus in 2018 as a freshman, I barely spoke to anyone. It was hard for me to put myself out there and make friends. My teachers from freshman year helped push me out of my comfort zone by encouraging me to sign up for clubs. During that year's club fair, I was in awe of how many student groups there were for me to sign up for. I signed up for over 10 clubs, from a cappella club to People for Pets. It eventually ended up being too much for me to handle, but nevertheless, those clubs were how I met some of my closest friends to this day. I have not only made lifelong friendships with my classmates, but also with teachers and faculty over my 4 years. Whether I needed extra help with schoolwork or needed to de-stress by just venting, there has always been an adult there for me. And I know that this continued support will be there for me long after today. The encouragement I got from my teachers helped me unlock a newfound passion for leadership beginning when I was in 10th grade. I found the courage to run for 11th grade class representative, which was way out of my comfort zone. I was extremely nervous and worried about having no one vote for me. I even spoke to my advisor, Mr. Knoll, who further convinced me that I should go for it. I did win, which further encouraged me to try other things, such as becoming the Black Student Alliance's president, the Student of Color Association's student-faculty liaison, and senior class vice president. So, here we are 4 long years later and 1 pandemic after our high school journey began, about to walk across the stage and collect our diplomas in front of some of the most influential people in our lives. To all of the parents and family members out in the crowd, however you may define that term, on behalf of the class of 2022, I want to thank you for all of the investments you have made in order for us to be here today. All of the late night practices and rehearsals, early morning drop-offs, and the occasional forgotten notebook, we have not forgotten. To all of my fellow classmates, thank you for everything you have given me. We made it. Sorry. As we all go into our new journeys, remember the friendships and connections that we have built. Lean on each other when you need it. I know for myself, I would not have been able to get to this point without you all, so thank you. To all of the teachers and staff, thank you for being there for us every day. From early morning meetings to staying after school to help us succeed, we remember and appreciate all of those moments. To our amazing maintenance team, thank you for keeping us safe and comfortable during our time on campus. I have personally seen the lunchroom after 11-12 lunch and believe your work there alone in that area deserves an award. To our genius tech team, thank you for keeping our classrooms and Netflix binge-watching machines running smoothly. As my time up here comes to an end, I replay the countless memories I have made during my 4 years, and am extremely grateful for all of them. For anyone that has ever attended a St. Andrew's chapel, you may recognize my closing statement as the last thing standing between you and lunch. But I urge you to listen to and really hear the words that Chaplain Isaacs excitedly recites every week. Life is short, and we haven't much time to gladden the hearts of those with whom we walk this earth. So be swift to love, make haste to be kind, and may the God who loves you bless you and keep you now and always. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2022.
Clearly, resilience was the correct adjective to describe you earlier, Isabella. Well done. Hunter Chin will now perform Frédéric Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major.
Good morning. On behalf of the St. Andrews Board of Trustees, I want to join Robert in welcoming you to this glorious day, our families, our friends, our guests, and I want to extend my heartiest congratulations to our 2022 graduating class. It is my pleasure to introduce this morning's commencement speaker, the Honorable Paul Ryan. I expect Paul is well known to many in this audience as one of the youngest members elected to Congress, when the voters of Wisconsin's 1st District elected him to the House of Representatives at the age of 28, just a decade following his own high school graduation. He went on to a distinguished career, including serving as chairman of the powerful Ways and Means Committee, as the Republican nominee for vice president in 2012, and finally as the 53rd Speaker of the House of Representatives, and all before his 50th birthday. But Paul comes here today. He's speaking to the class of 2022, not on the intricacies of legislative process or tax policy. He is here because Paul and his extended family are members of our St. Andrews family. His sons Charlie and Sam became Lions 3 years ago, joining 4 of their cousins as students here. As Charlie and his classmates move to the next stage of life beyond St. Andrews, we appreciate having one of our own parent Lions reflect on how their St. Andrews relationships, knowledge, and values have prepared them to serve, thrive, and lead. Please join me in welcoming Paul Ryan as our 2022 commencement speaker.
I guess I have to remove the section of my speech about tax policy now. Thank you very much. What a great morning. I want to thank Robert Kosaski and all the members of the St. Andrews community for letting me be a part of this momentous occasion. I think one of the reasons I was asked to be this year's speaker is also because I have some experience with these things, meaning, can we find someone who can keep it between 10 and 20 minutes, hopefully closer to 10, make a couple good points, then sit down so we can stay on schedule? So here I am. Let me start by saying congratulations to St. Andrews class of 2022. Congratulations to all of you on this amazing accomplishment. It's an honor to be here, not just because I stand before you as a commencement speaker, but more importantly, as a proud parent of a graduating senior. And like any parent, I would be remiss if I did not say a few words about our graduating senior who's going to hate this, Charlie. Charlie, I just want you to know how proud your mom and I are of you, how proud your entire family is of all that you've accomplished. Your hard work has paid off. As a parent, I've watched Charlie and this class of seniors persevere in the face of really unthinkable challenges. No other group of students in the last 50 years had to endure, adapt, and overcome the obstacles that you all have. And if there's one of life's great lessons that this class has learned, it is this: deferred gratification. Knowing that the work that you put into something today is going to take time to pay off, but it will be well worth it. You graduates did not arrive at this success. You earned it. What you all have accomplished over the last few years is simply amazing. You conquered virtual learning, awkward Zoom lags, staggered class schedules, openings and reopenings, masks, vaccines, boosters, Omicron, Delta, BA2, and a dozen other COVID-19 variants. And you made it. You pulled together. You stayed strong. And you dealt with every challenge thrown in your class's way. Also, as a side, as a parent, I want to give a shout out to the entire faculty. Thank you. You rose above the call of duty. Thank you. Books will be written, dissertations will be earned on the COVID cohort, how education slipped, not at St. Andrews, because of you. So thank you. You delivered a world-class education on Zoom while wearing your SpongeBob pajama bottoms the entire time. Thank you. And students, you came of age in the middle of a pandemic, with the country having long overdue and incredibly consequential conversations about justice, the environment, inequality. Look, being a teenager, it's hard enough. But being a teenager during these last 4 years, during such heady times, well, let me just say that all of your parents are amazed by your resilience and your fortitude. It is because of these challenges, because your character and values have been forged during such trying times, that I know, and all your parents, faculty, and friends know, that you are ready for this next chapter in your lives. Because of the education that you received, the friendships you've built, the lessons you learned from sports, clubs, community service, extracurriculars, the values you've developed during your time at St. Andrews, you are ready to face this world and to make an impact. And really, that's what I want to talk to you today about. Making a positive impact in the world around you and becoming your best self in that process. And now to do it in about 10 minutes. To truly make a difference and to make an impact, whether that be in your family, in your community, in college, or in your vocation, I would recommend you do 3 basic things. Stay optimistic. Stay open-minded. Stay involved. To make an impact, you're going to need to stay optimistic, or let me put this another way. You have to have a good attitude. I've had hundreds of smart, ambitious young people work for me over the years or work with me. And you know what? The one key distinguishing characteristic that separated those who found success from those who did not? Their attitudes. No task was beneath them. The glass was always half full. Life was not a zero-sum game. All could collaborate and all could benefit. And despite all of the challenges that we've faced in the past few years, you are entering adulthood in arguably the greatest time in human history. I'm serious. I know we all tend to think in terms of immediate outcomes and immediate moments in front of us, but let's take a longer look at the arc of humanity. We live in an amazing time where representative democracy is taken for granted, when it's really been an exception to the rule. The debates occurring here in Washington are very important, but we shouldn't take for granted that we live in a nation where our rights and freedoms are protected, and we have the ability to determine for ourselves who and what we want to be. You're entering your formative years at a time where there has never been more prosperity. There has never been as much technological innovation or entrepreneurship occurring. There has never been a time where the whole world was literally connected to you by a device in your pocket, or where the vast amounts of knowledge and information are accessible with a few strokes of a keyboard. I'll say more about this in a minute, but if there was ever a time where an explosion of technology gave reason for an optimistic future, it is now. We live in a truly amazing time and in a truly amazing country. Remember that as you move forward in this life, because achieving your dreams and really pursuing your passions will require a sense of optimism. As an adult, as one who spent years working in the federal government, I can tell you that keeping a positive outlook, keeping a bright attitude, even when, or should I say, especially when times are tough, is going to be essential. Life is going to present you with challenges, with obstacles, with hardships. But I'd recommend you never lose sight of the blessings that each of you have in abundance. If you read the news or check the comments section on any social media site, all you're going to see is cynicism. Too often, our conversations focus on negativity. Too often, we focus on what's wrong with the world and not on all that we have been given. Just look around you here. You are sitting in a room of people who love and support you. You're surrounded by teachers, administrators, parents, grandparents, siblings, and friends, all of whom believe in you and believe in your talents. They stuck with you for 4 long, difficult years during trials and tribulations, and they still have your back. The people in this room should fill you with an amazing sense of optimism. The love, the admiration, the respect that everyone in this room has for you should propel you forward. So don't let cynicism or negative thinking prevent you from seeing all the amazing experiences that you have had and all the amazing opportunities that you have at your fingertips. Maintain that sense of optimism as you go forward. Realize that your horizons are limitless and aim high to achieve your wildest dreams. And to make an impact and to make a difference in the world around you, you're going to need to stay open-minded. I spent the last 25 years in politics. I had the opportunity to serve with some amazing statesmen and women, and well, some less than amazing statesmen. But the one trait that all the best leaders seem to share is a willingness to see other people's points of view, to keep an open mind. It is not a sign of weakness to admit that you don't have it all figured out. As you probably noticed during COVID, most don't have it all figured out yet either. In other words, try to build in your muscle memory a sense of empathy. That's right, empathy. I was so pleased and impressed to hear David Brown discuss this in his speech yesterday. It's a word you don't hear that often these days, empathy. And it's something that you're going to have to work harder in your time to maintain. Why is it going to be harder for you to maintain a sense of empathy in your generation? Because you are all coming to age in the digital age. Never before will so much technical advancement occur than what is going to happen in your lifetime. It's truly awesome, but very, very challenging. We're entering the third era of change on the internet we call Web 3. From blockchain to artificial intelligence, to the Internet of Things, to machine learning, to quantum computing. You are coming of age at a truly amazing inflection point of human history. Which brings me back to empathy. In a world where we live more of our lives online, we so often flock to our echo chambers of conformity, where it is easier to disparage or to discredit a different person or an opposing idea. Our founders referred to this notion as the tyranny of the majority. The key is not closing off your mind to new ideas. Be open to different points of view, different people's lived experiences, and different ways of looking at problems or challenges. Don't get me wrong, you're going to need to have principles. You're going to need to have a foundation of values that guide your life. The foundation that St. Andrews has given you will serve you well in that regard. But as you go forward, remember, life's going to have a lot of twists and turns. Life will take you to unexpected places and present opportunities that you in a million years would not have seen coming. Embrace those surprises and those unforeseen opportunities with an open mind. You know, when I was in college, I thought I was going to be either an economist or a ski instructor. I was fine with either option, but not a politician. Then I took a range of different classes in political science and in philosophy, in addition to my economic studies. I met a few professors who challenged my thinking and encouraged me to take an internship in Washington, D.C. Next thing I knew, I was pursuing a career in public office and representing my hometown in Congress. You know, my professors, they challenged me to read the great works by historians and economists and to have passionate debates with people whom I disagreed, to try and see the world from their perspective. And by having an open mind, I feel like I actually strengthened my own views because I understood where others were coming from. The point is, have principles. Know who you are. Know what you believe. But don't be so strident that you close yourself off to different ways of thinking. Because if you do, you might miss some of the amazing opportunities that life is going to present you. So keep an open mind. Have empathy. Keep pursuing passions. Keep challenging yourself, and you'll all be the better for it. The last point I'll leave with you is that to make an impact, it's pretty obvious, but needs to be said, you need to be involved. I believe in the importance of community, and looking at all of you soon-to-be graduates, you do too. The community that you have created amongst your class at St. Andrews is special. You have formed bonds that will last your entire lifetime. You have made connections that will span decades and that will be with you from now until your old age. You have formed these relationships precisely because you were involved. You were an active participant in your community, and I tell you to keep doing that and doing that into adulthood. So as you leave high school, don't forget about the importance of being involved. And it sounds simple, but what COVID-19 showed is that if left to our own devices, many of us can withdraw. We can isolate. We can quarantine ourselves, literally and figuratively, quite comfortably in our houses, in our own silos. We can withdraw into our phones, into our computers, our 8,000 streaming services, and we can be content with that. But community, interacting with the world and those around you, is truly what makes life worth living. Real life is lived eye to eye, soul to soul, not click to click. Whether it be helping build a stage for a play, cheering on your basketball team, cramming for finals, or helping on service projects, your time at St. Andrews has shown you how you can be involved in your community. There is so much joy that comes from being with others, working with people toward a common purpose or objective, appreciating each other's talents and gifts. And as you grow older and begin to forge your own path, as you create families and careers of your own, remember that we are all part of something larger than ourselves. We have a responsibility to each other, and it is to our benefit to engage the world around us. Your community can be your friends, can be your church, the family you are born into, or the family that you have made. It can be based around hobbies, a political cause, heck, Minecraft, Halo 2. Remember that each and every one of you has amazing gifts and talents to share the world, and that requires you being an active participant. Life is too short and your experience is too valuable to just keep it to yourself. So never forget the importance of being involved in whatever capacity possible. So, I'd encourage you to spend today and the next few weeks celebrating your accomplishment because it is a momentous one. You have persevered through one of the toughest stretches in our country's history, and you've adapted with resiliency and courage that has made all of your parents, teachers, and friends proud of you. I'd also encourage you to reflect on the last 4 years. Remember the good times, and yes, remember the bad ones too, because these memories will continue to shape who you are as you all pursue your individual paths. And last, I just encourage you to stay optimistic because your future is so, so bright. And because life, it's just better when the glass is half full as opposed to half empty. Stay open-minded because none of us has all the answers, and because all of us can benefit from seeing another person's point of view. And stay involved because our country, our communities, and our society is better off when you share your values, your gifts, and your contributions with others. So congratulations to St. Andrew's Episcopal Class of 2022. Go forth and do amazing things. Thank you.
Mr. Kozaski, Ms. Maith, we present the following candidates and attest that they are duly certified for graduation from St. Andrew's Episcopal School. Amanda Lois Aggie.
Anthony Ishan Agrawal.
Adrian Campbell Ahmad.
Tanuke Hannah Alarapon, cum laude.
Brian Christopher Alwine.
Katya Elizabeth Atia.
Seth Elias Baker.
Laith Rami Bakri.
Ansel Cyril Langrish Barnard.
Victoria Christina Beresford.
Samuel Fredette Berman, cum laude.
Alexander Sharif Blas, cum laude.
Alan Jonas Blum, cum laude.
Robert Walker Borgman.
Grace Madison Brown.
Oliver Martin Bush, cum laude.
Alexandra Caroline Faith Cannon.
Anna Lucia Chalmers.
William Michael Clark.
Madison Hope Cochran.
Sydney Aaron Cochran.
Catherine Elizabeth Butler Colbert.
Isabella Sojourner Dodro.
Daniel John Demansky.
David John Demansky, cum laude.
Simone Irene Dumboya Borman.
Charlotte Grace Furnow.
Norman Thomas Flecker, cum laude.
Max Ari Friedman.
Le Tien Fu.
Francis Jean Foltz.
Claire Ellen Gamma.
Bowen Gahn, cum laude.
Abigail Francis Gahn.
Spencer Edward Gorman.
Thomas Hill Groib.
Savannah V. Graf Suleiman.
Julian Libby Haas, cum laude.
Matthias Augustin Guibert Heitner.
Frederick Jordan Horowitz.
Caroline Bradley Hundley.
Alexandra Doran James, cum laude.
William Blair Kane.
Harrison Robert Keeler.
Jennifer Lynn Kitchen.
Kieran Paul Lamb.
Aaron Roth Lobsenz, cum laude.
Dylan Walker Lusinger.
Rose Cleary Ludica.
Rusheen Maksud.
Colby Andrew McCoskey.
Beatrice Celine Marcus, cum laude.
Joseph Edward Masters.
Connor Hugh McCloy.
Jack Nicholas McCloy.
Miles Edward McCrae.
Lorenz C.C. Millen.
Allison Lee Mitchell.
Julia Elena Molina.
Eric Kagwe Mushane.
Hannah Paige Newman, cum laude.
Connor James Nickel.
Lily Drew Nordheimer.
Caroline Adelaide Nugent.
Shannon Bradley O'Grady.
Charles Emmett O'Keefe.
Sophia Alexandria Papademetrio.
Denna Parsa.
Valeska Peters.
Reed Peter Povanelli, cum laude.
Hunter Chin, cum laude.
Audrey Sabina Quint.
Garland Alexander Reading.
Charles Wilson Ryan, cum laude.
Alexander Miles Scarborough.
Curtis James Schlegel.
Holden Miles Sherman.
Catherine Opal Skinner.
Lacey Maria Samwaru, cum laude.
David Kilsheimer Stevenson.
Peter Harrison Stroh.
Aijing Sun.
Maya Grace Thompson.
Masai J. Troutman.
Braxton James Troxel.
Yenner Burke Tunser.
Hannah Burke Toomey.
Anthony Rose Wallace.
Emily Yutong Wong.
Zili Wong, cum laude in absentia.
McGuire Temple Wetz.
Owen Scott Whitman.
Shannon Eloise Yale.
Wenshi Ju.
Class of 2022, there is one more formal, very important thing I need to tell you to do. First, stand up, please. Hopefully everyone has their cap on. Good. Take your tassels, move them from the right to the left side of your cap, and I present you as the graduated class of 2022. And now sit back down. It is traditional at ceremonies like this to give a blessing to the class, and we do it in two parts. The first, delivered by our students in song. Thank you for that beautiful offering, singers. It is a St. Andrew's tradition for members of the graduating class to write and deliver a prayer for their class. This year, Katia Attia and David Stevenson have written and will deliver the prayer for the class of 2022 together, symbolizing the connected spirit of their grade. Katia and David?
Dear gracious and loving God, we pray for the talented, diverse, and resilient class of 2022. In times of uncertainty and hardship, you have supported and uplifted us. When the world was plagued by a pandemic, you stood by our side, ushering us through. You gifted us all with the knowledge and support to thrive in these next 4 years. You provided us with the loving and caring community of St. Andrews. You have blessed us with support systems of family, friends, faculty, teachers, and coaches who are deeply invested in both our education and personal prosperity.
We find ourselves between two worlds. The world in which you sheltered us and cared for us, and the world we are coming to know with your guidance and grace. We ask for a patient heart as we encounter the unfolding of our unknown journeys. We ask for the courage to respond with compassion to the opportunities and challenges we will surely face as we enter this next chapter. In the words of Deuteronomy, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. In God's name we pray, amen.
Graduates of St. Andrew's class of 2022, you have received an Episcopal education. May God bless you with an appreciation of the rich traditions and perspectives throughout all the diversity of humanity. You have accomplished much. May God lead you to more achievements that satisfy and delight you. You have also experienced disappointments. May God grant you hope to persevere and continue to strive through difficult times, that you may have faith that better times will come. You have made this school a better place. May God support and encourage you through your alma mater. You have served others. May God continue to nurture gifts within you that you can use to improve the lives of those in need. You have learned much. May God bless you with a curiosity and desire to continue to learn for the rest of your life. You have developed friendships. May God surround you with good companions to journey your life with. You have heard at chapel services that God loves you. May God always make that love known to you through the rest of your life. And now please join me in saying the blessing that concludes each chapel service. Life is short, and we haven't much time to gladden the hearts of those with whom we walk this earth. So be swift to love, make haste to be kind, and may the God who loves you bless you and keep you this day and always. Amen.